Will the Real buff that we've seen online give them a fighting chance to at least stay competitive, especially on this first map where, again, Atlanta's going to be really happy to see the Karachi. They are so darn fast on the map overall, and they find ways to just dominate on the objective. On average, when they're in the hard point first, they're only giving up around 8 points worth of time to their opponent. That has to be something that is different if you're Miami trying to come out hot.
Yeah, and if you're Miami, you did play this map against 2 top teams so far in this stage, and they were really close games versus Optic and Toronto, and the one thing they stood strong on was their hold percentage, so you just have to improve on the breaking and the rotations to stay ahead of the game versus Atlanta.
It's a big shout. Let's see how it all turns out as we head on over towards Rubble for the first hill. Nades will land, but Vikul opens things up for the top side over at AC. Celium still staying safe over at Bricks, and okay, this heavy-handed Heteros here for Miami down barrel side has worked out nicely for them to get the instant break back in.
Yeah, this is perfect because there's still 30 seconds remaining here at P1. You also have Lucky making sure no one's going to cross over on the left side of your mini-map off the rotation over towards next. But Atlanta FaZe, they're just trying to set up the proper break. Celium's only able to take down one. Meadows is able to find a double with that AR, and Meadows is a guy that I really want to focus on because he's had so many different roles throughout this squad. He was an SMG, the first guy in, now he's running that flex role with the AR, and he has to play well for this team today.
Yeah, Vikul with the rival line in hand kind of start things off. He's done well to kind of hold off this Atlanta rotation around the back, so spawns will stabilize a touch here for Miami. Looking over the top at P2, but Abizi opens up space right through mid. Next hit for Atlanta, trying to contest right at the front doors. Abizi from both weapons, finding a way to get it done, and Ant's prediction on who may find top kills, top damage for Atlanta is turning out nicely as Abizi's already on 4.
Yeah, it's a perfect start if you are Atlanta. Now you just want to execute this break-in to try to trap Miami in towards the backside of that dumpster hop. Draza is at least able to find the first, but Seven is waiting for the opportunity to strike. Unfortunately, does fall to Meadows, and Miami are doing a great job just keeping this scrappy so far.
Yeah, they're able to at least stabilize a touch. You know, that first 30 seconds, not polished from either side's perspective, but now FaZe from the break angle, holding from the front, locking down this jump wall, and Miami are looking like they're going to focus on rotation through mid-map.
And this is where FaZe start to pull away with the game when they play like this. They're just so ahead of those rotations. They're making the kills a lot easier for their side, and Miami are just walking in to the pre-aims of the AR setup out of Atlanta FaZe. It's another clean 4 dead. Only 10 seconds remaining here at Cafe. Abizi is going to get shut down off that streak, but Atlanta fully set up over towards the next hill.
And the thing that FaZe, I feel like when we watch them in this major compared to how they played throughout the rest of the year to this point, is this qualifier stage has been, they're challenging everything. If we feel like we've got rotation, send someone out, go rogue, make life difficult for your opponent, and so far that's handled by Sim beautifully. 7-3 start. Abizi even late to the gunfight against Vikul, takes him down for his 8th overall, and FaZe are comfortable in the first 20.
This is an opportunity for Miami. You just have to make these kills count. You got players going from every direction, but Atlanta FaZe finding the initiative in their favor. Now, if you're lucky, you just got to take your time over towards Junk side. Hopefully, your team is able to win a couple gunfights on the other end, but he gets cut down, and Celium's already started with the body shooting.
Yeah, confidence has been key, and, well, you saw the smiles on stage. It looks like this Atlanta FaZe team is just ready to get to work. Abizi on 4. Vikul nearly his 5th in a row, but shut down. So now a chance. Miami have to feel like they need to contest this and at least make life difficult on rotation, but Simp is already there. It's just another day, another dollar right now for Atlanta.
And you talked about Real online to land. So far, sitting at a 2-8 start alongside Lucky at 1-9.
Yeah.
When you're playing against Atlanta FaZe, you have to be able to slay with the best. Basically, wake up that day and play your best Call of Duty. But now off the rotation towards P4, Atlanta FaZe are right where they need to be. You're getting those back spawns. You also have bridge control, and Miami are put on the back foot because you can't really soak a lot of time here.
Yeah, not at all. Vikul's had a good start. That's really been the only thing to mention, though. And that's kind of surprising because when we were looking at the overall stats, he had one of the lowest KDs in the hard point for the team. He also had the most engagements and lowest damage. So it's like he's trying to get things done, but not winning gunfights. Hasn't been the case here, but the rest of the team just hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, just a little late to the party, and Atlanta FaZe are taking full advantage of it. And now it's only 25 seconds here at P4. Just going to try to flip these spawns if you are Atlanta. You have one player in Sim working his way up through Junk side, and then Draza working his way around that deep pinch. Is able to at least find one onto a car bomb, but this next gunfight is going to be massive.
Absolutely the case. Real just trying to stay tucked to the corner. Stun will land him easy. No problem there to find the kill. Beautiful overhead look in terms of how that was broken down. And the lead now starts to look closer and closer towards about a 100-point gap as Atlanta FaZe will get first in towards Junk, and they have a full read on where this Miami hit is coming from. Abizi just tucked into a corner. Challenge me. Gimba, you got to come on in. Come on in, Water's fine.
My God.
Abizi's just doing it all. Looking for the full team wipe.
Man.
Sure, why not? Let him know about it.
Oh, man, that's how you take over right there if you are Abizi. You already had a cruise missile. You thought you were going to try to invest it there to make sure you held on to this HP, but Abizi had a 16-7 start. He's going to potentially earn himself another cruise missile, but the time is right. I don't know if Atlanta playing for the kills first. I guess that's exactly what the plan is. They find the initiative, they're back into the HP.
And it's just all about making sure they have the right read on where this Miami hit is coming from. I mean, the onus falls on the Heretics to have to make something happen, as Atlanta are very comfortably going to walk away from this rotation with, like I mentioned, that 100-point lead. And just no one's losing gunfights right now for Atlanta. Not the start you want if you're a Miami fan.
Got to try to turn it around. It's going to be even more difficult now because there's cruise missiles to work with on the side of Atlanta FaZe. And just they already find themselves up by 100 points. You're going back over to the P1. An insane chow right there to Simp. Metals is able to win it. So Miami need to find something to start building upon.
And this guy right here may be the only person you need. Cruise missile can be dropped in by Simp. Easy likely to be the first one to try to move forward. But as Miami exit from the hard point, they do find a couple of kills. So that keeps the Heretics in position to allow Real to jump back into the hill. But 5 and 15, 20 seconds with the hill time. He's got to do something special here to get Miami back into the game.
Yeah, you take that too as well if you are Atlanta, because the spawns now flip. You know you're contesting around this middle hill. You still have one player in a crucial position to potentially get them off of the time, but Meadows gets a read onto Cellium. So Miami, great job so far here at this P1. Now you just have to focus off the rotation where Atlanta FaZe have the preferred spawns for next.
Yeah, you need a couple of gunfight wins here at mid, because there is just no chance you're going to flip these spawns around the next 12 seconds. Good trades over towards Simp. Abizi pops himself over towards backside Rubble. And again, trades are decent here. Draws the last left over the barrels. Okay, 3 will fall. Atlanta will still spawn in, but Miami have a free route trying to contest early.
Yeah, you have to try to break in early. You have a couple players contesting their way already up through the arches and through red side. One player going around the deep pinch. Is he going to win the gunfight versus Draza? No, he falls. So now all of Atlanta FaZe know where the pressure's coming in. That's 3 dead in the feed. Lucky last player up over towards bottom ticket. Just has to play his life, wait for his teammates to get near him.
And it's moments like this that we really see where the Miami hardpoint struggles the most. Great exit from P1, but late to the party here in the second hill. Yeah. 11th in rotation percentage across all the hardpoint map pool when it comes to finding ways to break open early time. That's again becoming an issue for them here. So we got to within 40 points, but this hold for Atlanta on P2 has been, again, very comfortable, very confident, and it looks like it's going to turn into a full 60 where FaZe can go up by 100.
Yeah, but now you have to cut your losses if you are Miami. You cannot afford to die off the rotation. Draza at least finds one, so now that's 2 players from Miami spawning all the way across the map. It's going to fall into the hands of Lucky and Metals, trying to hold down the lines over towards P3, both in some insane one-on-one gunfights, but Viku joins in the party, is able to keep Lucky alive, and it should be Miami Heretics winning a rotation over towards next.
Have to hold this, though. You absolutely have to, otherwise the game will just be over. And I will say, Lucky, the guy currently in the hardpoint, has turned away from what was a 1-9 start to 11-19 tally at the moment. Cruise missile in. That opens up junk as Metals will drop almost instantaneously. Trophy system down. FaZe looking to break as we jump into an Atlanta FaZe listening.
Three on time. 5-3. Yeah, we have plenty of time. I'm gonna rotate like towards the church.
One shot.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a corner in church. I'm in a corner in church right now.
Lucky on me, ult then.
Nice. Yo, could be one sack. Could be one sack.
Last 2.
I can't get time off the rip. I can't.
I'll get time.
I see nothing in church.
Absolute third. He's on time, Ria. Need the barrels. What's third?
Barrels. Ria, one shot. Absolute third.
Might be playing white truck.
He's bottom tools on me.
Nice. 2, 3. Just stab.
Swall spawning in the back.
He drops out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to slide to the left side of hill.
Okay, have your help left.
I'm laying down.
Probably left on me.
I'm laying down.
Low door.
Lucky there. Lucky there. One shot, Lucky down.
I'm going left.
Try me. Metals, bottom shot.
113, Bruce. Close front. He's close to your car.
Yeah, we should just get this all.
I'm shopping right now. Watch middle vehicle.
On the barrel.
Shop showing old vehicle. I have you. That guy might have spawned down.
Absolutely. I think it's funny.
Let's go top right.
Nice.
Let's go through. Do it. I'm stun this. Just come with me.
I'm going through.
I stun anything?
I don't see anything cooped.
I mean, hold on. Take your time.
Back right. One shot. Under you.
Well, here we go. Atlanta FaZe without cruise missiles at this point. Miami's hanging on. Rotation over towards Junk is decent, and Metals is starting to turn up. A double form on the way in, trying to deal with the BZ, but when it matters most, the BZ comes up clutch.
And that was the same problem last time we got to P5. You just couldn't find a trade onto a BZ. He gets it done for Atlanta FaZe to lead to the break, but it's only for a potential 20 seconds. Miami have the backspawn still. They have all the bodies on this side of the map. They want to fight for this remaining Junk time. You just got to take care of Mr. Abizi, who's making it look too damn easy. Just simply runs out of bullets in that gunfight, but it's still Atlanta FaZe with the final 10 seconds.
And a chance with numbers to rotate over towards Rebel once again. Lucky could have come up from behind, though, and actually surprised Draza. So some high ground positioning now lost here for Atlanta. Abizi working on it, but this is a tough gunfight versus Vehicle, who wins it. And okay, here we go. Miami up to 160 plus. Chance to get a little bit more time here as Atlanta is a blitz split spawn, trying to find a way to come back into the hill.
Starting to turn up for Miami. Real had a slow start, so did Lucky, but they're slowly trying to climb their way back into this game. That's not going to help, though, with Draza finding that double. Now it's hit the go button if you are Atlanta FaZe, because we have the numbers. They're able to find the break, and they're also able to read the spawns. Great heads-up play right there to Draza.
Miami, though, actually just walked right through that nade. So do you get a little bit of an option here through this back alley? Abizi, ball just tracks through midair, no worries. And all the pistol out versus
Oh my
Real.
God.
Not gonna happen there. 34-18, 3 in a row. Miami have to win this rotation now to P2.
And this is their opportunity right here, because they're going to have a lot of people, a lot of reinforcements on this side of the map. They're able to take care of Draza. Now your next line of defense is finding a trade onto Abizi. It's been very difficult all map long, but this one-on-one gunfight can go a long way. Abizi's able to find it. The trade is effectively going to be there, but Miami in control of the hill.
Spawns are good. Rotation trying to be tested by Draza. He finds one over the jump ball, but can't peek anything further. Celium down low. Open space for Sim to walk into the back alley. Abizi right behind him. Now it's just down to Metals inside the hard point, and the SMGs for Atlanta crack the code, break the hard point. Now they can win here.
And now they only need about 15 seconds left. Miami have one more good opportunity on the way in. Lucky's finds one. Vico finds a second with a nade. So still an opportunity here for Miami to at least keep it scrappy. But you want to contest this all the way to the very end. Finally find a trade onto Abizi. And now you're going to put Atlanta FaZe in a decision. Like, do we decide to get this one up, rotate over towards next? No, they're just going to keep on sending it. And this is where you have to take advantage off the rotation if you are Miami.
Keep an eye on Lucky. Able to find the first. Draws a tally at range, but you have to value your life here more so if you're Lucky. Trophy system down. Does not connect on towards the stun, and that loss may be about it, as Atlanta FaZe will bring the rotation over towards New. This hit through Junk for Miami has to get through Celium, and well, the help is definitely strong enough to at least get Atlanta the early time.
But Riel's right up the middle of the map. Oh, Sip is able to at least spot him. Now falls into the hands of Metals. He's only able to take down one, but he gets himself behind enemy lines. But it's only 5 seconds to Atlanta win.
Here comes Vico on the way onside. There we go. That's able to at least get some sort of a break. 248 to 211. Contest from the back. Celium able to open things up in the last seconds will be tallied with that last recontest. But wow, considering the start that Atlanta had, and in particular Abizi had, Miami started to fight their way back into it. Just again, day late, dollar short.
It just came to like a very slow start to that game. Abizi was way too activated to start. He drops 40 and 22 on the map. You heard the Des touch on it. Whenever he plays against Miami Heretics, he always has himself a hell of a time. And that's the way you want to start in the series on land at Major 3 to potentially be your back-to-back champions. But Atlanta FaZe just doing what they do best. Not as clean as we all expected to.
Sure.
You had a couple cruise missiles in your back pocket, didn't really lead to breaks, a couple late situations off the rotation, and then even a couple breaking opportunities where they just completely fumbled towards the very end because Miami were able to pick them apart one by one. Just a little slow start for Miami, but Atlanta get the W.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And, you know, it is interesting to look at the statistics for the respawn for Atlanta, and the hard point in particular. Again, first across the board when it comes to points efficiency, but they're not necessarily in the top when it comes to rotating and holding or breaking. They're just finding ways to make things mixy, and they thrive in that chaos. And a lot of it comes from moments like you've seen from Abizi throughout this entirety of the first match.
And he does it with an MCW right off the rip of the game. Then he switches to the Rival 9. He's just so comfortable with either weapon. That's what makes you one of the best players in the game. Obviously, he hasn't won an MVP. He's definitely looking to do so as the year goes on.
Absolutely.
Because when you got players like Sim and players like Celium on your roster, we're always putting up some insane stats. It's very difficult to try to shine, but For aBeZy to have a start like this, oh man, he's in for one hell of a tournament if he continues to play like that.
And it's just, he puts himself in spots where it's just like, you have to come get me. Like, I'm not going to overextend, I'm not going to overchow. I'll get my intel, put myself in the best position possible, and then good luck. That's kind of what it gets to. On the other side of things, though, let's kind of speak some praises to Miami, because let's be candid, as the game started to get closer, they're still getting dominated in the kill feed. Real in particular, not a great overall KD, but the objective focus for Miami is what got them through a lot of their online qualifiers, and the time that Real was able to find in the hard point was still very good.
Yeah, that's good stuff, for at least in the objective side. But you know, when you're playing against Atlanta FaZe, you have to be able to slay with the best. And everyone basically going negative after map number 1 is not the recipe for success. But you don't have any opportunities now in these HP. You need to be able to respond in search and destroy, and that's been a bread and butter game mode, at least recently, for Miami.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And you know, the 6-star is not exactly a bad venue for them either.
Yeah.
They definitely play the map, I would say, not one-dimensional is not the right word, but they like to overwhelm you. They like to hit you with a lot of numbers. So it's going to be a lot of test here to see, has Atlanta predicted this map overall, and can they get them set up? Because like the desk had also mentioned, this has not been a well-rehearsed map in terms of the qualifiers from Atlanta's perspective.
Yeah, Atlanta only played this one time, and it was all the way to round 11 versus NYSL, and it was heavily favored for Atlanta on their attacking side. They needed to work on their defenses, but you best believe they've only played it once. They're going in practice and getting a bunch of reps in, and especially off that one reputation that they had, they're changing their setups and stuff like that. So we might see a completely different Atlanta FaZe on the 6-star only after having one rep on it.
And if aBeZy's playing like this, expect to be jumping on board with him immediately. As the new intro mentioned, First Blood King, he's always up and in there early. But the interesting thing about kind of aBeZy as a First Blood reliance for Atlanta, Miami don't have that. Yeah, Real's been great overall search and destroy KD, great opening to a win percentage, but all 4 of them are taking a lot of engagements in the first 30 to 45 seconds.
So that means that everyone's in sync. We're all doing a lot of team pushes in search and destroy, and that's sometimes the recipes of success. When you're one of those new rosters barely formed, because they've only been a roster for this whole qualifiers, you have to figure out certain things for search and destroy, and certain strategies might take a little bit more time. So just a 4-man push one way is the best way you can break it down early into the game. But now going up against Atlanta FaZe, you know you have to have your playbook stacked. There needs to be so many different adjustments throughout the middle of the game to make sure you're trying to walk out victorious.
And just put it this way, you don't want to 1v1 this guy. No. Update, he did just tie the overall LAN hard point kill record.
That's how he started?
Map number 1. Yeah, just casually. No worries, no problems. But we're locking on in. Fist bumps are out. 6-star, search and destroy, coming up next year for us. And I think, again, after a poor kill-to-death ratio performance for Real, now the jitters had to be gone. You played a competitive map as a squad. Real's got to show up here if Miami want a chance to take what we consider to be a must-win map if they want to have a chance in this series.
Yeah, he's been their all-star all of the qualifiers. He's been their shining light to get them through a majority of their HPs. Even their search and destroy is the only struggle that they have as a collective unit has been in those controls. So Real definitely needs to step up in this search and destroy. And just be ready for the punches that Atlanta fans are going to throw at you. Right off the rip, a double nade over towards A. Going to pull people on that side of the map, and then the rotation immediately over towards that B side.
But Miami are going to voluntarily give away the B side, so figure they have to play retake, which, just a small statistic, you don't want to see that if you're a Miami fan, because their retake percentage has been miserable. But seeing if they can change it here on LAN, it's going to be a 4v4. Here we go, retake on the way.
A lot of time to work with. You have 3 players from Miami attacking through the top side. But it's going to be very difficult to win any of these gunfights. They at least know the nade spots. You're able to back down Cellium from his position. Only 8 HP left, and this is where you hit that go button. Medals with the first blood.
Oh, but they don't check aBeZy through the smoke. He immediately counteracts it by himself, slips away. He's so hard to kill. Yeah, let him know. Still 1 more to find, but it's his teammate to clean things up. And aBeZy, just a little smoke demon, comes out when the time matters most.
How do you let him make plays like that?
Dude, what?
Like, that's just insane. You find the opening first blood. You just are not able to read the corner right there with aBeZy. He's able to find a triple in the first round of this entire S&D, and just continuing on with that confidence after map number 1. As we take a look at it again, Real is caught off guard when he finds that kill on the Cellium, but the fact that he's able to win this gunfight right here with the awareness, also the body shoot, and doing his best Cellium impression, it's a great way to start if you're aBeZy.
Yep, I'd say 3-0. And let's be honest, smoke retakes have been kind of a key to success for everybody, so if aBeZy's able to find his way through smoke like that, may need to reconsider what we're doing here if you're Miami. Offensive look. Very passive. just kind of hoping to see someone get overextended by Atlanta, but that's not their game. That's not their moniker. They're going to wait till you make a call before they make their response.
Yeah, and I love the adjustments already out of Atlanta FaZe, because where they struggled was on the defensive side for this map. They were instantly getting first blooded. They only are 20% on that side, but everyone's playing that 50-50 setup, back down, use our attacks to retake over towards either bomb site. As Droz is at least able to gain a little bit of info over towards A. Now the reinforcements are going to try to retake.
And at this stage in the map, Atlanta will know that, okay, let's just take over mid. Figure we'll give ourselves some points of ingress to retake over towards A. And, you know, other side of the coin here, Atlanta's great at finding good retake percentages throughout this qualifying stage. Seeing if they can do it here, 35 seconds. A lot of it coming through mid. There's that same smoke we talked about. Vehicle pushing forward, does take down the first, though.
That's good stuff by Vehicle, even better out of Lucky.
Okay.
Able to get the objective planted. Atlanta goes for the smoke through mid-U, lets everybody bombard one way out. And Miami, on the back of Vehicle, just pushes right aggressively right up through that smoke grenade. He's able to secure the attacking ground. I thought it was a good start, at least from Atlanta FaZe, but we got to be a little bit faster on those adjustments.
Yeah, and again, first in retake percentage in Major League qualifiers. They have not relied on it, but they're not uncomfortable when it comes to playing it. But seeing it in 4v4 form, now 2 straight rounds, definitely a bit peculiar.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the tempo starts to shift just a touch here as you jump into round number 3. Atlanta will, of course, get the bomb over to aBeZy, very often the carrier for the squad. And once again, same setup for Miami. 2-2 split, nothing over towards B.
Yeah, the double nades over towards the A side, potentially slow someone down, but B bomb is going to be wide open once again. But this time, Miami should have a little bit more of an info gained, where they can try to retake easy, because everyone's through the middle of the map.
Yeah, the last time it was a full retake through the waterfall drop. Now it looks like it's going to be something maybe more centered towards the middle of the map. Not the case. They'll leave Lucky there to kind of maybe pull a late pinch. Everyone else will hop down again together. Metals, good first blood. beezY a bit more uncomfortable now with Drazah dropping. Resets over towards Curve. Metals waits for it. Very nicely done. Cellium now the last one left, and he is stuck in the pool, and the Heretics are all over it.
That's beautiful plays right there to Miami. Everyone was spread around the map. Meadows, another first blood on the defensive side, and at the same time, Real, who was working his way around the deep pinch, was able to catch that timing onto Simp. At that point, you already gained the info. The last 2 players have to be around the bomb site. Cellium plays the same exact spot he was on the previous offense. You're able to pick them apart one by one. Great retake scenario right there out of Miami.
And it's important to note that first blood onto Drazah allows Metals the luxury of being able to stay prone, wait for maybe a different pinch to come out. Very well constructed. So, okay, first retake not successful. Second, much cleaner. 2-1 the count. Lucky on 4 in a row, as Vehicle will take the bomb out and once again look to put a little bit of early attention over towards A.
And this time, Atlanta FaZe is going to step up the aggression. Yeah. Send a couple players up through the middle of the map. aBeZy in a more aggressive place over towards A. But they're gaining a lot of info, and they can potentially trap Real in towards mid-U. But they going to know the info of Lucky. He puts down a couple shots, and now you're just going to simply back down. And that time continues to tick.
This isn't going to feel great, though, for Miami. You have no looks to what's over on the B side of the map. You know Drazah's playing DJ booth, but, like, so what? And the rest of the names over towards A haven't really given you enough clearance over towards this U-Haul yet. So this contact for Real could be just about everything and trying to get this bomb forward, but Vehicle pushes up, gets dealt with. Real does win one at mid, but still the focus for Miami has to stay over on A.
And they recovered the bomb as well, so beezY knew that that first one in his back pocket, bomb was down right in front of me, but that bomb is now off the rotation, potentially off to B, because Real pops that dead silence. He's already taken a lot of ground on that side of the map. So if you are lucky, let's just get the objective down.
Stun out. Real wants to smoke. Drazah forces him off the angle. Bomb does successfully get planted over towards B. Keep your eye on number 3 in Metals. He is missed timing onto aBeZy around the back. Does Lucky expect this? Not fully. Tries to sneak away and just nowhere to go. So aBeZy able to turn this into a 3v2. Metals hunting for the trade. Finds it quickly. Now back over towards the site. Drazah trying to play over the top of the bomb. Cellium guarding. Someone's got to go and check. Metals trying to play forward. Deals with Cellium. Does he get there in time? He sure does. Kill comes through. Miami take the round.
Such a beautiful heads-up play right there out of Metals. He knows that Cellium was simply putting down cover fire. He had to be sticking that defuse. Yet Cellium one-shot commits on the gunfight and is able to find the second onto Drazah. It's great plays right there from Miami. They didn't find that first blood, but they were instantly able to respond, turn it into a 3v3. But then that bomb rotation definitely caught Atlanta FaZe off guard. A couple rounds in a row now for Miami.
That's 5 in a row for Metals in particular. So maybe a chance for a cruise missile here in Miami. Search and destroy, which, again, it's been improved this stage with Real in the lineup, mostly because of Real. Now all of a sudden they're starting to find a lot of success as a full squad. Vico, first blood, playing aggressive down towards the Sky Bridge. Metals also following up into Cellium. Draza committing forward, but the trade is in, and Miami have done flawless work here in this opening exchange.
And Metals picks up a cruise missile. Now it's left in a 1v3. You can never put it past them, but it's not going to be easy when everyone from Miami is right in your face. They did not fall short on their defensive setup. That's two rounds now previously where Atlanta FaZe were instantly going over towards B. But they were always showing face at A. This time Atlanta FaZe hit over towards A, and they were prepared for the push. Metals having a stellar map at 9-1, cruise missile in the back pocket. This is how you take over.
And that was a pattern changer right there for Metals. As the crowd starts to get the Vamos injected into this Miami crowd. Okay, 4-1 the count, 8 in a row for Metals. Back to the offense. Do you call the cruise here? Just get your 5th round, Jay?
Oh, without question. Puts ourselves at game point, especially if we can guarantee it. It's exactly what you need to do if you are Miami, especially with the way that Atlanta FaZe are playing super aggressive up to the map. Real's going to have a lot of info gain.
Yeah, sees the head of Abizi. That's enough for him to back off. Bomb is dropped and left on the A site as Vico is going to take a super flank route right behind 2 FaZe members. Catches him by surprise. Oh! The 3rd. Simp. Last one left for a 1v4. No need for the cruise missile in this round.
And now you can pick up that bomb and start to work that objective. Because Vico just made such a great play right there. And Simp, unfortunately, in the 50-50 is going to guess wrong. That bomb is going to get planted over towards A. It's a 1v4 scenario. Miami Heretics taking over to search and destroy. Vico can't find the ace on the round, but still a 1v3.
Little bounce pass off the frag grenade. Simp can't get the full regen off. Real trying to step in. Plays off the dry bar. Lucky holding even towards the more celebrated mid bar. And Simp does not have a route available to him. Trying to isolate the 1v1. He's given it. Lucky, hello? Couldn't finish off the last shots needed. Time is the biggest issue here, though. 13 seconds on the clock, and Simp will have no more time to fool around at mid. Miami get to 5-1, looking for their first map win on land.
They're just 1 round away from doing it. And that simply comes down to Vico, what he's able to get done. Real gets the infinite. There's a lot of players from Atlanta pushing up to our middle of the map. So Vico drops the bomb over towards A, instantly pushes through their spawn and finds the perfect timing to find 3 kills in the round. Miami now at game point, and they didn't even have to invest that cruise missile, so yeah, still got that in the back pocket if you're Miami.
And honestly, a round like this, you've ran this kind of 2-2 split defense every single defensive round you've played of Miami. Why not do something crazy here? You've got a lot of rounds to play with. Not too much different, though. Lucky will play a passive angle over the top of B. Clearance through U-Haul for the defense around the A side, and as they don't hear any nades going off, Miami's going to try to restructure, assuming there's going to be a quick plant called in, and ooh, the cruise missile is going to get called in here. Abizi still finds first blood. This cruise needs to lock things in, but it's down too late. Abizi gets a second, and all of a sudden, Miami a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I just don't understand that play. Like, Metals is calling in, I have a cruise missile, everybody stay alive, but Vico jumps through the smoke grenade, he gets picked off, and then Real gets 2-piece. So it makes this round even more difficult. Lucky now in a 1v3 with only 20 seconds left, only 76 HP in his back pocket. But it's just not going to be time favor. At least it turns to a 1-on-1 though.
Oh, steps away, pistol out. Almost finds the last shots needed, but not the case. Abizi's even laughing that one off, as he just absolutely takes over it. You're absolutely right. The call for the cruise missile just very puzzling to start the retake, which was already heavily stacked at mid.
Because all you have to do is just simply wait for the comms to come in. Because Metals knows exactly where everyone is when he invests that streak. But Vico just decides to take it upon himself, trying to shut down that bomb going down, and eventually comes back to bite him. So Atlanta FaZe stay alive a little bit longer in the search and destroy, withstand the pressure coming in from that cruise missile. But now they're back to the defensive side where they have been struggling.
Yeah, exactly the case. And what do you call differently here? 3-man hit with a trophy system to support right on top of this A statue. Bomb making its way forward as much as it possibly can for Miami, but a moment of hesitation here, trying to play things over towards the top of security. Lucky's able to find first blood. That's on the opposite side of the map. So now Abizi has to kind of pick up the gap over here towards B.
He's at least able to get info onto Real, but Lucky's trying to find his second kill on the round. Unfortunately, can't find the timing onto aBeZy. But with Simp dropping in his position, now it forces Atlanta FaZe to change their defensive look. A couple players who were 3 stacked over towards A now have to spread map and try to win a couple one-on-one gunfights. Drazah starts it off.
He gets 1 steps away. Good support from aBeZy. A little bit of crossfire angles will make sure there's no immediate trade. But Cellium left on an island over towards A will drop. The bomb now making its way to be committed onto this A side. aBeZy re-wrapping back. And, well, he's got to wait for Drazah to get part of the play because he's on the super flank.
There comes Real as well. Drazah's at least able to find 2, but Real is working his way around a deep pinch. Now it turns into a 1v2. They do not have any info on where he is playing, so can he just stall out more of this game clock?
He has to pop and check at some point, though. There's aBeZy. That's the information from both sides. Opening shots good for aBeZy. You know he's going to take that challenge, and why not? Okay, hold on a second. Cruise missile out. Atlanta FaZe get their 3rd. And once again, this ebb and flow of who's holding control over the map starts to continue to shift.
And the post-plant situation right there for Miami needs to be a lot better. You
Absolutely.
had Real through the middle of the map. You already gained info into aBeZy on their side. Someone has to be paying attention somewhat to the flank side. And unfortunately for Drazah, he's able to get the timing to find the initial 2 kills, put them in the advantage, and then get the info onto Real to stay alive again in this search and destroy. Slowly but surely climbing their way back. Down 5-3. If you are Miami, this is where you have to stand strong because 5-3 in search and destroy is a very scary scenario.
Absolutely the case. Can Metals step up? 10-3 already. Seems to be the raid boss. You kill him, you win, apparently, if you're Atlanta. aBeZy quickly through you, catches Real with some tactical utility out. Yep, it was a stun. So first blood is automatically tallied, and once again, Miami just don't have any defensive pressure towards B, and Simp's going to confirm that, already getting this back curve position.
Yep, he gives the info to the team. Hey, B's wide open once again, so we can work this objective now with the man down. But you also want to try to set up aBeZy for 1 more kill so he can earn himself a cruise missile. That objective is now going to get planted. Miami at least have a couple players here to contest immediately. Metals makes it a 3v3, instant response out of Simp, but now it's all up to Cellium to clutch up into 1v2.
And he is far away from being able to check over the top of this B site. Waiting to see if there's anyone crossing over through mid. He's not going to get a chance at it. Lucky and Vikul looking for the elimination, and there's the info for Cell. He's got to make a move. Here comes the play. Vikul caught on sprint. Cell expecting the challenge, but Lucky's going to hold it. And the curse is broken. The Spanish flu's been shrugged off as finally Miami win a map on land.
What a great start from Metals. Was the tone setter for this Heretic squad early on into the search and destroy. But then in those later rounds, it's simply playing down to the clutch factors. Metals starts it off, but Lucky instantly there to respond with 2 of his own. Then once it turns into a one-on-one, the cojones right there out of Lucky to just stick on that defuse, going up against a great player in Cellium. Such a heads-up play. Miami Heretics tie up the series with the search and destroy victory. And now they have some life, Alan.
Yeah.
Now they have some life.
Yeah, late comeback effort in the Karachi keeps you tight, keeps you close. Now all of a sudden you could walk away with what was a very convincing search and destroy for the first 6 rounds. You finish it off, you put it away cleanly just as Atlanta start to build some momentum. And hey, high-rise control is what we consider next. We'll talk more about it when we get closer towards it. But the thing about it is Miami's attacking stats have been great. The only issue is that's mostly come off of what they've done on Karachi, not necessarily what they've done on high-rise.
Yeah, they haven't found any success on either high-rise or invasion all throughout this stage with this new roster. They're sitting at a 2-5 record with both of those W's coming on Karachi. So you're going to have to try to figure out a way to square up against Atlanta FaZe, who only seem to lose this map, versus a team like New York who can keep up with the slaying. That has to be the thing of focus. We have to be able to outgun Atlanta FaZe in this map 3.
And you can hold that because that's going to have to be the same thing for map number 4 on a real hard point, which is not easy to do, friends. But Miami get their first map win, and the crowd here in Toronto are loving it. And I'll say, honestly, we're loving the fact that we've got ourselves a competitive series here. Miami looking much better than what they've had done in the previous 2 majors. Can they find a way to take another map against the strong Atlanta team? We'll find out as high-rise control comes up next.
Upgrade your game with the SCUF, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
SCUF Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuf.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply.
The Call of Duty Week is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
In Toronto, they turn it into a miracle. Unbelievable.
Linz goes back to the bomb plant. I love it. Is Felony going to get hit fast enough? Oh my goodness, Renetti at the ready. Do it. Do it.
Love it.
Goodbye, Linz. The round is over.
It doesn't get better. Like, your eyes light up when you catch him as he's running away from it. That's the instant call to hop the bomb. Nasty going to get that trade, but a 3v2 for Surge, and they are still smooth.
Oh, Nasty wins a big one. Ghosty, can he get two as well? What a round. Thieves find the equalizer.
You are dealing with players that are running you down.
Toronto have to reset up again.
This is their last hurrah.
Only 2 defenders inside the zone. The others for New York. Worried about the overextension.
Oh my God.
Drop. Here comes the flood. Skies by himself could do nothing. Trophy system this time gets placed safely. On top of that, it's a 12v2. Toronto looking clear here at A, unless maybe some desperate nades land and popcorn out of the zone. Hydra tries to step up, and Toronto takes the round 5 offensive win.
Oh my God, Ultra.
Nero on 3 straight. He'll be holding. He'll get the plant down. You lost a man early. This time you're able to get the first blood. Nero going big. 5 in a row. Looking for 6. Able to keep on eating. Maybe the ace. But I love this. It's all 4. Nero, a monster in that round, and he's on 7 in a row.
I mean, with the score the way it is.
Grab with the double through the hill. Still keeps the opportunity alive for Ultra. They get all 4 dead in the feed. They are potentially going to steal map 1 right now.
But the last 8 seconds are coming through. Kleenex over the middle of the map. Oh! It works out. One more hit coming out of Toronto. Turn it into a miracle. Unbelievable. Welcome back to Toronto and our Atlanta-Miami series. Currently 1-1 with the Miami Heretics taking away a very convincing Search and Destroy. A moment where you thought Atlanta was going to start weaseling their way back into the conversation, but wow. I mean, it is an unbelievable map number 2 from Metals. And of course, the stick here from Lucky just calling Selim out saying, I got the confidence to hold this.
Yeah, it was just a good start for Metals. Like the fact that he was taking over multiple rounds early on into the game, earns himself a cruise missile, puts them at game point, and then all they need to do is make sure they don't make enough mistakes in one round to close out one round. And thankfully, Lucky turns that 2v1 into a clutch defuse for them to tie up the series at 1. But now the series doesn't get any easier for them because you're going into a high-rise where you haven't found any success as a squad, and now that we are guaranteed that map 4 in Rio, we all know that that's Atlanta FaZe's bread and butter map.
You know, the interesting thing about this, and maybe this is a bit of an artificial storyline, those that have been following this Spanish entourage since their time at Challengers, they are often some of the loudest players on stage. They haven't had a chance to do that yet because they haven't won a map. But all of a sudden, they find themselves in this weird position of, it's been late in the season. We finally get our map 1 win. You're playing up against the number 1 team, which, as much as there's a fan base for FaZe, there's also a fan base that doesn't like FaZe. And all of a sudden, you can maybe see a world where they start to band together to support this Miami team. If that energy gets flowing, not going to rule these boys out.
It's because it's them versus the world. Everyone knows that when you're going up against Atlanta FaZe, no one is picking you guys in this series with the way that you've been looking and the way that Atlanta FaZe has been looking, especially in high-rise control. This is so far throughout Major 3 qualifiers, 3-1 record for Atlanta FaZe. The only team that they tend to lose this map to is New York. They are 8-2 overall on this map, and on the opposite side for Miami, they haven't really found a lot of success on either side. And the biggest thing for me is their slaying. Like, you have players who usually take over in the HPs, who usually take over in the search search and destroys. But right now for Miami, everyone's sitting underneath for 1.0 KD. That has to be a big factor for them to focus on in this next map.
Well, especially because Atlanta, on both sides, offense and defense, they are the best team right now in the CDL on control when it comes to managing lives. On offense, they only, I think, on average are like minus 0.9, and then on defense, they're usually winning by 5+ kills or something of the nature. So it's very convincing is what I'm trying to get at. Whereas, you know, again, for Miami, they have not really kept up in the respawn slaying against the top 4 teams across what they've been able to do even online. And now all of a sudden, it's a tall ask to try to take this map away, guarantee yourself a potential 5th map where an Invasion Search may bear some fruit.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. If we can get into a game 5, anything can happen because we are on land. The pressure's going to be high. And they're just hoping to put themselves in that kind of situation. But you have to get through at least one of these next 2 maps that are coming up and walk away victorious in it. And I think the biggest player that I want to focus on who had sort of a great start in the map number 1 is Vico. Like, he's sitting at a 0.78 overall control KD. That's not good because control basically all in this game is about slaying. If you're not finding your kills, you're losing map control. If you're not gaining map control, you're getting instantly put into a spawn trap. And it's just very difficult for anyone that's going up against this Atlanta FaZe roster because they slay so damn well.
Absolutely. And it comes from every form, too. It's not just the subs, not just the ARs. At different moments in time, it could be any one of the 4 players you see on screen. So there definitely needs to be some sort of a heroic X factor here for Miami to kind of keep things going, build a little bit of extra momentum. Map number 1, we got a little bit from Vikul. We also had kind of a nice come up from Lucky. It was Metals and Real that had the slow start. So maybe you look to one of those 2 players to say, shake off those hard point opening map, you know, nerves, come back into this 3rd and do what you've been doing online.
I'm 100% looking at Real. Like, this is the guy that you put into the roster for these kind of moments. He's been able to slay all throughout Major 3 qualifiers versus some of the top teams in the game. He's been their X factor, and he didn't have a best start in that map number 1, but if he can go off and really set the tone in his high-res control, they stand a great shot.
Yeah, he's been that way before. I mean, it just fact becomes, you know, he was on the Rocket Academy roster in Modern Warfare 2. They did great in Texas in particular, but that was with a roster of players that obviously all found themselves into the CDL essentially by the end of that calendar year. So for a first time on the main stage against the number 1 seed, can he find a way to be who he was online here under the lights as we're getting ready for the high-rise control, loading on in through the cinematics. And again, the biggest thing here is it can't just be one side or the other for Miami. You need to really step up, especially when you find yourself on defense.
Yeah, it needs to be everyone because for some reason on their defensive side, they give up some of the most segments away on that side of the map. 4.8, which is insane to me. So you're basically putting yourself in a scenario where we got to guarantee at least 3 attacking rounds. But here we go into the map number 3. They're on the defensive side to start off. No trophy systems to work with on this push over to the B Street. So just want to be the team to not initially drop right off the rip as Atlanta FaZe are pushing their way out through bottom blue. They find the initial couple of kills, already find themselves on that 8 point.
Oh, but yeah, Jose Propane Tank still alive. So
there it is.
Okay, 1.0 KD right now, make it 2.0. 2 kills come through. So Vikul now finds himself very far forward. Shut down by a BZ as off spawn. Atlanta find their way back immediately over towards the B zone, and here we go. Metals trying to contest early, but this is a solo play by himself. Deals with the first, can't find anything more, and Atlanta will still stay alive. This time, though, Draza is on A.
But right now, it's a little bit of a split decision right there from Atlanta. You have players stacked over towards B. They found 3 dead in the feed. They're thinking, okay, we get this trade on the last guy. We can still work up that progression, but nades come over the top. Everything was hit from Miami Heretics to retake a little bit of that map control and not allow that first segment at B to be complete. Wow. But all the kills in the feed, besides one on the Vikul, are in favor of Atlanta FaZe. They're still slowly but surely working up that progression.
Oh, and Cell actually steps off the A zone before the first tick of progress could be secured. And Vikul, you want to say him, he's going to have a hot start. 4 in a row, 6 and 2. Now right back up into the face of the Atlanta spawns. Tick of progress on it. B has been completely depleted. The one on A is close, but largely speaking, Atlanta just need to find a way on a spawn right now.
Yeah, they only have 40 seconds as well to do so. And if you are Miami, you are trading so efficiently around the map right now. Just have to account for the last 2 players from Atlanta FaZe who already found themselves out. Maybe at least gain info onto one. Vikul trying to sniff out where a BZ is, but a BZ finds a kill, so she instantly be there for the trade, and he's able to find it. Only 21 seconds left. Atlanta able to stop the clock, though, over at A.
Yeah, the clearance at B is good, but right back on towards the A zone. Celium will be existing with what was help from Draza initially. Vikul, what a start from 8 and 3. Peeling players left, right, and center, but first tick of progress is already done at A. Second is quickly on the way. Lucky looks like he wants to give this a try, and he's the only defender here, so now you got the double stack up, and, well, a 13 plays 9, and Atlanta are looking good for this third tick.
And you would think with such a hot start that Vikul had, they would be leading in the lives remaining column, but still Atlanta FaZe up by 5 lives. The third segment about to get complete over towards A. A BZ now slaying in your spawn. Time is now extended. And this gets a lot more difficult for Miami with only 7 lives remaining.
And the B zone's already going in the blink of an eye as well. Draza's still on it, working on the 3rd tick. Support from his teammates is good. Looking for the trade as, okay, Lucky will deny. Gives Miami a chance to hold here. Don't worry about the clock. Worry about the lives. And maybe worry about Abizi in your back line as he finds one from the backside window. Right back in towards mid. Gets a look at the player over the top of the staircase. And Atlanta will win this round. It just comes by way of either lives or ticks. And it will be lives as the last heretic throws himself off the map.
And they complete 5 segments. Miami gave themselves a lot of opportunities.
Sure
it's
did.
just that one opportunity where Atlanta FaZe were applying a lot of pressure over towards bottom blue. All the kills went in their favor. And that's the worst thing you can do in control, is go to clean 3 to 4 dead. Because everyone coming off the respawn, all info gained out of Atlanta FaZe, to put you in a little bit of a trap. But then at least complete 5 seconds to keep the sling in their favor. So now if you are Miami, you have to try to get something done on your attacking side.
And if we're to be really nitpicky about the Atlanta FaZe control where it's weakest, they sit 5th in allowing ticks progression when they're on defense, so maybe that is an option here, but we already saw the stats. Miami at the same rate, not necessarily great at finding good tick capture percentage when they're on the offense, especially on this map where, again, have not found a lot of success. So what's the angle? Looks like it's going to be some sort of a B setup here for Miami. Early, Abizi already in position to try to challenge, but getting shut down.
And Draza still finds himself in a crucial position, though. Has top for pain currently. Able to get the info on a couple players from Miami already working their way out of the spawn, but he's able to find the first. Now it's your opportunity to potentially take these guys off of B, but Miami, they're slowly but surely working their way up through bottom pit, trying to at least take a little bit more map control. Abizi and Celium find one, Abizi with the double, and now all of Miami back in the spawn.
Oh, what a transfer for Simp. Right down mid lane. Takes out a couple more Heretics offensive players. Abizi on the pit staircase. Just trying to keep Miami stuck behind these glass windows. Also gets rid of the player down low. And I mean, the finesse game. Just so hard to deal with. Beagle's patience works out. Simp trying to get his trade. Waiting to see where exactly Beagle's gone. And off the regen, Beagle will take that into a double metals following up. Leaves Draza by himself on B, but the rotation to A is perfectly timed. Draza on 4 in a row keeps the Atlanta defense largely safe.
And comes the pitch out of Abizi, able to win the one-on-one gunfight versus Metals. The trophy system at least good enough for the trade. And now that time is continuously taken down. You're able to put someone over towards the A point. Again, he gets taken care of, but now with only 24 seconds left, you had to make this B push count.
Nades are landed onto Draza. He can't challenge this B zone at the moment. Help is on the way. Abizi is the one committed over towards this defensive spot. Nades are also going to help keep the clock ticking. First tick not locked in over on the B zone. So for the 5 ticks of progress that Atlanta got in their first offense, if this continues, Miami's not going to have a single one to tally here in this first offensive attempt.
Yeah, you can tell by all the kills in the feed that they're probably not going to get another opportunity to complete one of these segments at either point. 3, 2, 1. They found a couple kills in the feed, but now you just have to get past the lines of Celium and Simp. They're able to find the initial 2 kills. It turns into a one-on-one in towards this B point. V-Cool just dancing with death. Thankfully, the nade is going to hit over, but Atlanta faced with the reinforcements, able to bombard their way back into that B point, not allow a single segment to get away from them. And this is just what Atlanta FaZe do on high-rise.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and you look over the course of the stats, it's just they find a way to get it done when it matters most, legitimately. Because some of their core statistics, the macro statistics, they don't necessarily turn up number 1 every single time. It's when things get weird, that's when they really show when they're the best. So, not a great start here for Miami. Taking some of the momentum just immediately out of the sails after what happened at the Search and Destroy. Have to put together a really solid response here defensively. You got to find a way out.
Yeah. You got to try to figure something out, and just slowing down Atlanta FaZe, potentially find a clean 2 to 3 dead. So you're going to have a couple cruise missiles potentially to take into your next attacking round if you can get there. Just got to simply keep track of everyone from Atlanta FaZe. I know you're playing against Simp and Abizi, who will cover a lot of ground, but those guys make such impactful plays. You have to always play for those trades.
Oh, quickly, the clock is already stalled. Simp sliding back and forth between the generators. There's the assistance. Draza right in with a pistol. It's just the longest bait and switch you've ever seen in your life. Everyone's so focused on Simp. Here comes the help. And now the stack is in. First tick done, second on the way. Vehicle looking to get himself into position to try to challenge this. And a good kill for Metals keeps this stack a little bit more contestable.
Oh, man.
But team date is out. Second tick's going to be gone.
Second segment already going to be complete over towards B, and Atlanta FaZe still maintaining a lot of map control. They only have dropped a total of 3 lives the entire round so far. Now time gets extended. This is why Atlanta FaZe are one of the best teams, if not the best team in the game, because they just make it look so damn easy. Great transfer right there to Simp. I would have been jaw dropped if he finds that kill, but Atlanta FaZe up by 6 lives, still maintaining a lot of map control, just had to work their way out through bottom blue.
Okay, couple of kills coming through. Miami also win a gunfight over to the middle of the map, so things again start to play that little tug of war where the defense gets in a better position. The Semtex from Selim onto Simp also aids. So now we've got an 18 playing 20. Miami are chipping their way back in defensively, and okay, here's a chance. Draza, last one really standing over mid, and every kill turns up really in favor of Miami. Good moment for the Heretics.
And now you have to try to keep them trapped as long as you possibly can. Someone needs to earn themselves a cruise missile. Try to gain a little momentum going into this next round if you can force it. But it's still tied up in 16-16 in lives remaining. Atlanta FaZe using their teamwork to try to at least work their way out, but they are getting cut down every single time. Guns, nades, everything is hitting right now for Miami.
Looking good. Only issue is, you know, you didn't have any tick progression in your favor at all on your first offense, so you're going to win 2 offensive rounds in a row if you pull this one off still, which, again, is not out of the question for Atlanta yet. Still just under 60 seconds. 14 playing 13. FaZe have worked their way through the spawn trap pressure, and now they're on their way with eyes over towards A.
Still a lot of time to work with, though, if you are Atlanta. Just need one sequence of kills to go in your favor, but it's still Miami trading more effectively. Just maintaining the map control, putting Atlanta FaZe to slow down in their scenarios. It's now with only 35 seconds left. They're trying to rally their way up to B Street. They also isolate Real, so that's 2 kills in favor of Atlanta.
Yeah, Vehicle also committed down low. He was tagged. BZ searches out that kill. And here comes the surround. 23 seconds at the clock. Atlanta staging for their approach on in. Lucky has to worry about a lot all at once. Deals with the first. Trades are decent. Vehicle with the pistol. Continues to keep this pinstripe kill feed alive until Real finally finds the final kill. And now you're down to your last approach of your phase.
Yeah, that was a big one-on-one gunfight because Simp would have been able to put the game clock at a pause that allow his teammates to still work their way up through this bottom blue area, but only 3 seconds remaining. All the kills in the feed are going to be blue. Miami are able to extend the map a little bit longer. But you would have been happy as hell if you can have a cruise missile going into this next attacking round, especially when you found no success your first go-around.
Yeah, it's just, again, it never really felt like there was a good concentrated approach for Miami on either of the 2 zones. And that, again, is a led towards what Atlanta is able to do. They were able to stay alive so easily. The finesse game on the individual level is at the highest level. So you have to find these skills to find them quickly. You need to find a way to confirm it, get yourself on the zone, put that objective pressure into your favor.
If you're on Miami to get a little momentum right here, it has to be to start off kills.
Absolutely.
Put a couple ones in your pocket. Super aggressive out towards A. If you can hit a couple nades, a couple stuns to potentially start off in these trade fights. To make your life a lot less difficult, but it's going to be contest already here at this 8 point. BZ just flies right on in. He's able to find a double. Metals last player up, just simply trying to play his life so his teammates can work their way out of spawn.
Yeah, it's a decent idea from Miami, but it comes up completely empty. Not a single kill tallied, and now Atlanta are all over your spawn. Oh, this is about the way where the blunder meets all of Miami. Stuck behind this back right corner, and BZ is just not gonna move. You've got to come to me, my guy. And this is where he does BZ things. First one good. Lucky with a quick trade. Okay, they get out of spawn trap initially. A couple of trades are decent, but it's just so much punish. 40 seconds on the clock and a 7-life gap.
Yeah, and Miami still have yet to work any of the objective points, so that time is continuously getting away from them. He did have Lucky, though, who was able to stay alive on those engagements early on to work his way out of the spawn. Real with the pistol, able to take down Selim. So game clock at a pause, but it is going to get taken down by Simp. BZ finds the second, and now all of Atlanta FaZe just jumping around, trying to locate where Vika went.
Yeah. Vehicle very wisely gets out of there, trying to value his life. Madraza on the hunt finds the kill. Simp steps into your spawn. That's kill number 7 in a row for him. Doesn't have the last bullet needed to take care of Real, but may not make much of a difference. 10 life gap. FaZe still putting the pressure on into the Miami spawn. Unfortunate team kill comes through. That makes, again, this pretty much an impossibility as Straza finds the final one needed. Last bit of time is going to tick away here. Miami have already put the controllers down, and they're going to start talking about the real hard point coming up next.
Yeah, that's GG, man. It's just very difficult. Everybody knows if you're in the crowd right now and you play rank play, when you get put into that hell trap on high rise, it's never fun to get out, especially when your guns are not shooting the same as the opposing team, or when they're just trading more effectively than you. But Atlanta FaZe dominating on the high rise control, not allowing a single segment to get away from them on their defensive side. Take a commanding 2-1 lead in the series.
It's so tough to play this team on high rise, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Like you mentioned, it's just been New York who's been really able to figure out this Atlanta squad. Everyone else, haven't really held the candle to them.
No,
I mean, statistically, it's astronomical. So, a decent effort, but largely speaking, a very tough venue for Miami to figure they could go back-to-back map wins here on LAN. The only bit of good news is, hey, at least you didn't really have anyone super down low. I mean, it was a decent, comprehensive effort. Real had a better map overall. It's still just one of those things that you look and compare the KDs between that and what Atlanta put together. It's just a world of a difference.
Yeah, it's even a non-traded kills. Like everyone from Atlanta FaZe are a little bit over positive. They're feeling fantastic in those columns because 150 HP. I can finesse a little bit longer with my life. That's where the S&Gs are thriving right now. But that's just way too easy for Atlanta. They just came in and said, all right, we do what we do best, which is outslay the opponent. We're going to stand a better chance. Obviously, Miami Heretics haven't found any success in control other than Karachi, and unfortunately, they don't find it today.
And that's the other point about it, like looking at the lifeline of this Miami team, no matter if they win the series or if they fall to the lower bracket, is it really has just been Karachi.
Yep.
Like, you're not going to be able to get through a major event, especially against a top 4 team, when you only have one control map that you find a lot of success on. So the veto process made this a little bit easier for FaZe, and now up 2-1 with, again, the hot hand starting to really come back together. BZ has another incredible map. Draza actually has what has been his first great map of the series at this point. You're going to go look at a Rio where, again, tempo, energy, momentum have always favored what this Atlanta team has done. They've been flawless here.
Yeah, based on every other hardpoint map that Atlanta FaZe have, this is actually the one that they stand out the most in because they're sitting at 6-0 overall record, but they are #1 in rotation win percentage. Yep. That's the thing for me, is that Atlanta FaZe on such a slow map, you're expecting them to always be in the mix, but they're doing the fundamental parts correctly. So you have to make sure you're ahead of that if you are Miami, because one thing they struggle on Rio is their break percentage. When you have such fast players like Metals and Real on the roster, you're expecting those break percentage to be a lot higher, but they're only about 26%, which is 9th overall in the league. That's not the best bet, and you need to try to take down Atlanta FaZe on their base HP, which you need to be on point with.
And that's the other problem when it comes to even anyone playing up against this FaZe squad, is how do you veto up against them? You know they're not going to play sub base.
Yep.
Everything else is good. So it's just hard to really find, a map set that builds favor towards you, especially if you're a team who find themselves kind of in the bottom half of the league.
Yeah.
There may be some options for the teams in the top 6, but for a squad like Miami that have really not found any success versus our other top 4 squads, not a lot of success on LAN is obviously kind of the major story point. It's hard to put together a map set to where you look at it and say, okay, maybe.
Especially versus this team, whose map pool is unbelievable. They only have one auto veto for every single mode, and that's all you really need versus all the top teams, because it even makes it difficult for them versus teams like Optic and Toronto, who found a lot of success on sub base. But when you square up against Atlanta, they veto it every time, so you have to figure out something else to play versus this FaZe squad. And unfortunately for Miami, you got to play them on Rio.
Yep. And I think, to be fair, there was conversation happening in the Green Room about this Miami team when they played maps like Vista right when it came out. Well, it's good. They're playing with some good speed. It kind of reminded us of like the Major 1 qualifier Miami squad, where they're running and gunning and everyone's moving in sync with one another. Like, it doesn't even need to be calm. It's just this natural energy. But then all of a sudden they come up and they play teams like Optic on it, and they get the brakes beaten off.
Yeah.
So can you find a way to manifest that kind of energy that we saw from the Major 1 qualifiers? Get this team really moving together with high tempo, with multiple players hitting kind of a teamwork ability, not just letting yourself stay isolated where I'm the last guy left and I need to try to survive against an Atlanta team that doesn't allow you to do that.
And that's the difficult thing versus a team like Atlanta, because you talk about teams like Seattle and teams like Miami who play with such intense pacing. Atlanta is also the same way. They just get kills with that pacing. That's what makes it a lot more difficult. So Miami backs against the wall. You're happy as hell that you're swanning into Rio, just not against this team. Basically squared up in that rotation, but the hold percentage is not the best, and even the break percentage is not the best there for Miami Heretics. If you can be there first early, you can give yourself at least a good shot.
Have to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, you have to have it. So, again, can you find a way to manifest that when it matters most? Try to continue this series and keep everyone just surprised with how competitive they've been, at least through the first 2 maps. This is, again, a different ball game, though, coming into a real hardpoint where FaZe have not really blinked when it comes to who they play up against on it. So, Real, first focus. Miami find the early time, as it largely has been conceded over toward their direction. But as Atlanta try to set up their break attempt, kills are good, and that's going to be a 3 for 2 initial. Real with Metals will teamwork out Draza, and that's 4 dead.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great start, at least from Atlanta, to withstand that pressure coming in from the nades and the stuns, slowly work your way up through Eskies. But Miami knew that that's exactly what they were going to do. So already 18 seconds at this P1. You have a couple players from Atlanta FaZe setting up a potential pinch. aBeZy's able to find a double early on into this game. It leads to the break for Atlanta, but more focus for Atlanta is those spawns over towards the next HP.
And that's the other part about it is it's not just the fact that they rotate well. Their general spawn awareness when they're the one player spawning out. When can I have the opportunity to actually be a nuisance towards this play? Step on in. Miami don't get a read on it whatsoever, and things like this start to happen. Real is able to tally up one trade. aBeZy runs out of ammunition, and okay, there's an opportunity. Market will open to Atlanta's name, but Miami setting themselves up through lobby, looking to set up their break early.
Yeah, they have multiple players going around the backside. You also have at least a player in aBeZy who's working his way around the backside with that spawn that he was able to get. But Cellium wins an insane gunfight. That's now 3 dead in the feed for Atlanta FaZe. Now, if you're Meadows, you have to at least stay alive towards the back end. The spawns are going to flip, but Atlanta FaZe have already gotten a read on it. This is why they are just next level at Rio.
Well, now you've got an opportunity here, though, if you're Miami. Not only the spawns from the backside good, but you've got Lucky staying alive from the front. So, okay, Heretics, 25 seconds to fight for, find their break. Just need to get this kill on Draza, and okay, here we go. An opportunity here to get Miami into the game early and a little bit of forward pressure beyond the hill on rotation. This is decent here for the Heretics.
Yeah, this is a good 10 seconds to walk away with. Now you just need to find a couple kills off the rotation. Cellium is letting Vigo know you're not gonna be even up close and personal as 3 go in the feed for Atlanta. So they're gonna be chilling off this rotation over towards the next hill. You see Real currently with a little bit of top mid control. He's just waiting for his teammates to get even close before he decides to make that push.
And you have to hit this together. Simp kind of guarding the top side of the map. Able to find the first. Quick trade from Vico is decent, but while that happens, Atlanta from the front creates space in the front. So it's just so tough to hit something at the same time from multiple angles. Vico side door going to be shut down, and you got 3 teammates right behind you. Why are we not trying to hit that together? The punish is good from Atlanta in the last 30 seconds. Still to fight for as FaZe hold the spawns.
And Simp winning that one-on-one gunfight allows his teammates to still spawn behind him. So Miami Heretics doing their best job of at least contesting this, but it's still going to be at least 50 seconds for Atlanta FaZe at this Money Hill at P3. With only 15 seconds now remaining here, you have to start thinking about that rotation. And Miami are deciding to just push right up the middle of the map. No. We got to go over to the next hill.
Well, the problem, I mean, Draza gets 1 kill over towards the front side of Bananas, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we're trying to break this by breaking through old and then into boxes where you've got a high-low setup. I mean, oh, mercy. Atlanta FaZe get the perfect read, the perfect kills. Metals don't know what happened there. Don't really want to know as FaZe will bracket past the 100-point mark. Miami trying to get themselves set up again.
Yeah, that's a situation right there. If you're Miami, you have the numbers off the rotation because obviously Atlanta FaZe are still soaking up that remaining junk time, but you have the bodies to win the gunfights potentially over towards the next hill. And now when that first wave gets shut down, Atlanta FaZe flip the spawns right on back. They know exactly where the pressure's coming in from. Trades are coming in deflectively, but it's still Atlanta FaZe in control of this HP.
And aBeZy on 5 is looking for an early cruise missile to make this really deadly for the side of Atlanta. Playing off the heady. Lots of damage, again, comes through. Not able to find the 6 kills. Cellium's continuing to shoot bodies even when he's not on camera. And aBeZy will beat the rotation of Miami around the back through lobby again over towards bridge. Simp right there with them. And aBeZy, well, he knows where the next gunfight's coming from. Pistol out. Real will finally shut down the potential streaks, but now Cellium's on 4. Simp trying to clear up more space for him to work for a possible cruise missile of his own.
The good thing is that they don't have a cruise missile yet because Miami Heretics at least win a couple gunfights off the rotation, but then Atlanta FaZe bombard their way right out to that bridge side. Able to find the break immediately. Already up by 100 points. Cellium now earns himself a cruise missile. He's still the cutoff man through top mid. None of the kill feed is going to be blue. It's all white because Atlanta FaZe are just dominating.
And it's just Miami just not teamworking anything. That's another individual push after individual push up top through Eskies. And Atlanta have no problems dealing with it. Now, 160 to 37. Miami just have to take a breath. You just have to get something set up.
And I felt like we've casted this scenario a lot throughout the Major 3 qualifiers with Atlanta FaZe on Rio with this kind of scoreline because when they are playing like this, no one can seemingly touch them, even close to even come close to even touching them in this scenario. Because they already find themselves up by 130 points. You have cruise missiles to work with off the rotations to neck, but who needs the cruise when you have people in those positions already?
Well, here's a chance, though, for Miami. Trophy system comes in, 2-2 split hit on the way, and all right, cleanly dealt with. Vico, weak, still wants to try to control this Lopteski side. Information given, gets the elimination, and it's been a slow start for him, but yeah, great hit there for Miami. That's what we need to see more of. Just wait for everyone to get set up and then hit the go call at the same time.
At least they're showing a little bit of fight in this game. As now with 25 seconds still remaining here at P1, Atlanta FaZe just reinforce their way back through top mid. It's a Sip and Selim Show who's able to find all 4. And now with 20 seconds remaining at this hill, they already have the spawns over towards the next. It's just a matter of moments for Atlanta call series.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Moment of neutralization over the top of the hill, but again, Atlanta just wait for the hit to come.
Oh my God.
Draza with the turn on to Vikul. And, well, the only player to stay alive through this is Lucky, and he's going to get caught by the stun of aBeZy. It just goes from bad to worse that quickly. Lucky caught, dealt with, and once again, Miami are just not anywhere near a chance of setting up a break attempt in any sort of coordinated form.
Yeah, we've only saw 200-point clubs so far in the entire season. And we potentially have another one on our hands as all of Miami spawning so damn far from this B2. aBeZy's having a jolly old time in towards the garage. Selim finds the 3rd kill, and now they're able to flip the spawns at least for now, but already have a read on it, just waiting for the next set of fights.
Production, get the jingle ready. We're about to hear it. 2:15 to 59. Moment here for Miami to possibly get some of this last 20, but you look at the mini-map and it just, again, doesn't look good. You've got Atlanta already on rotation. Miami's still not even comfortable enough to really get into the hard point until we're in the last 15, which Selim is happy to sit here and make sure no one can rotate through that.
Without question. You can take 45 seconds of every hill and give up the final 15 and win the rotation over towards next. That is the recipe for success. And that's what Atlanta FaZe have been able to show all throughout this Major 3 qualifiers. As now they are only needing 30 points remaining to close out their first series at Major 3. You have a route being hit by Real, but he gets red. Selim's going to let him know about it. This is basically the last push coming in for Miami.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And it's just, again, individual after individual. Metals get stunned, try to do it, but it's a 1v3 situation. Last one alive is Real, and I think composure has been lost here for Miami. Atlanta very easily could put the map away right here. Miami still struggling to get through mid. Yep, cue up the jingle. Toronto wants to hear it. Sip down low, no worries. Real trying to work his way in, and it's going to be the 3rd 100-point club of the year. Atlanta 3-1 this series.
Obviously not as clean as Atlanta FaZe would have wanted it to be. A little bit of a scary map. Number 1, you fall short in the 6-star Search and Destroy. But the next 2 maps were absolute blowouts in favor of the best team in the world. They just come out and let everybody know in series number 1 of the whole event, we're not here to mess around. We're trying to go back-to-back champions.
Any worry about the Search?
No.
Okay.
Because they played 6-star what? 1 time? That's the 2nd time they overall played it, so I think now going forward with a win underneath their belt and now a loss underneath their belt, the adjustments are going to come in the next time we see them play that map.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, like, Ali talked about this in the desk with the invasion. It's like, yeah, they lost their last 2 searches of their qualifier stage. Yeah. They're both round 10. Yep. And it did look like Atlanta were trying some new ideas. It just didn't quite work out against 2 really good Search and Destroy teams by the end of Major 3 qualifiers. So, yeah, I think there's definitely some reflection to be had about, you know, what happened on those last 2 weeks and then also kind of what happened in this particular map on 6-star. I mean, the smoke retakes, not as successful as you would have hoped for. Also, they're trying to play a late 4v4 in almost every round, it felt like.
Yeah, that's the thing for Atlanta. Like, on their defensive setup, they couldn't find any success in the first blood column. But, like, you need to have a different defensive look, especially if you're going to have 3 players stacking over towards that right side of your map at that A site, and then Simp being the island player over towards B. Yeah. Simp cannot afford to die in that scenario because now everyone is forced to change their positionings, and then you get caught off guard with some bad Call of Duty